My name is Temilola. Today we turn our attention to a mounting diplomatic flashpoint between two nations, the United States and Nigeria. At the heart of the tension is a grave allegation that Nigeria is failing to protect, or in some cases, tolerating violence against Christian communities, and that the US is now considering sanctions in response. In the rest of this video, I have Senator Akpabio discussing this issue at the floor of a plenary today. In fact, there are discussions of sending delegates, to talk about these same issues with parliamentarians in the US, in order to seek the way out. By the look of things, the Nigerian parliamentarian, politicians in general in Nigeria, their mind no touch ground. Depending on the sanctions anyway, but if you ask me, I would say that, the US should, they should tailor the type of sanction they want to give to Nigeria in order to suit our politicians well. Because if they just throw sanctions and, say Nigeria cannot export or import to the US, for example, it's not going to affect the politicians. It's only going to hurt, businesses in Nigeria. Senator Akpabio also mentioned this in the video I'm going to show you very soon. Guys, the most important thing I want us to note was that Senator Akpabio argued that there is nothing like the killing of Christians in Nigeria. And the question here is, what happened in Plateau State? What happened in Benue State? In his argument, he stated that if insecurity happened in a Christian dominated community, for example, like Plateau or Benue State, it will be tagged Christian, Muslim Christian killing. But in the actual sense of it, that it is not a religious thing, it is not a religious killing. But you guys, when the killing is being done by Fulani herdsmen, what do you call that if not targeting Christians? These killings are being carried out by Fulani herdsmen who are Muslims. Muslims killing Christians. What would you call that, guys? Anyway, he had a lot to say, and he specifically said they are going to have an indoor session where they are going to discuss on when to have their security meeting in order to discuss how to solve this problem. I'm guessing that there is fire on the mountain for them because they don't even know what kind of sanctions the US is going to melt out to them. But I'm just advising, if any one of them or if Senator Cruz can hear me, please, the kind of sanction should not be the one that will affect Nigerians, should not be the one that would put more hardship and threaten the lives of innocent young Nigerians, or even put their livelihood at risk, because as it is right now, things are just trying to survive. So the sanction should not be something that would, put people in worse situation than they are in currently. Anyway, guys, subscribe if you have not already done that. Like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section. Let me leave you to watch the rest of the video. Bye for now.
But I don't think we can win. No group can win any discussion on this because it depends on the state you are looking at. If terrorism occurs in a Christianly dominated state, most people that will die there will be Christians. If it occurs in a Muslim dominated state, most of those who will die there will be Muslims. But if it occurs particularly in the North Central, you will notice that it will be targeted at maybe churches because that is what they are able to get. And then at the end they will say, oh, it's Muslims that kill Christians. If it happens in Kano or Borno, they will say Christians kill Muslims. So the way the whole situation is that we still need to go into executive session and get a date for our security summit so we can have close discussion on these matters. what is happening in the United States is of concern to Nigeria. It's of concern to the Christians. It's of concern to the Muslims. Because the moment they bring sanctions will breed poverty. Poverty knows no religion. So for me, engagement will be the best. So when we go into executive session, we can decide to set up a small ad hoc committee to go to United States or America and engage our colleague parliamentarians there. And then to also educate them. Because if you see what these people are doing, most of them are outsiders. When they come and start spraying bullets from GP, what do you call it, or they throw rocket, they are not throwing rocket into the crowd targeting a particular religion. They are killing Nigerians. I don't know who will now go and sit down and bring out maybe the dead bodies and say, this one is a Christian, this one is from this family, this must be a Muslim. So we are facing a situation whereby these terrorists are trying to terminate the lives of Nigerians. And then, of course, frustrate us from going into the farms, producing food to feed ourselves. So this discussion will be better in a closed session. And I think at the end of the day, we should actually have a small team that should visit our colleagues and also put the other side. Because some people must have gone there to give a one-sided story. And at the end, it will now look as if only Christians are being killed by terrorists in Nigeria. But I can tell you that a lot of Muslims have lost their lives in the last 5-10 years. The same way Christians have also lost their lives. So my personal opinion is that Nigerians have lost their lives as a result of insurgencies, banditry, and others. So if you look at what is happening in the Southeast, predominantly Christians, most of those that are killed in the Southeast, including the late husband of our demised icon, Dora Akunyili, the way the man was shot dead and everything, will you come and ascribe that to religion? I'm talking about what IPOP is doing. You see brothers killing brothers. Okay, so the sit-at-home that is going on Mondays in the Southeast that has almost crippled the economy of the Southeast, is it targeted at Christians or Muslims? So Nigeria has complex security situations, and we should actually go out there and educate people so that they will know what to do. But when they just come out with a one-sided motion, it means they have a target, and that target is to strangulate the economy of Nigeria. That's my personal opinion. So it's left to us as a parliament to take proactive actions and be strategic in our response. If we stay here to give figures and instances where Muslims were killed or where Christians were killed, then we are not helping the situation. Ours should be, what do we do to ensure what Senator Jim Ibrahim said, counter terrorism? How do we respond to the guerrilla tactics of the terrorists, whether internal or external aggressors? So let's go into the prayers. Is there anybody that is opposed to this motion? No, I was about to look at your side because I think a lot of herbalists have also been killed in the. Is there anybody that is opposed to this motion? Okay, so leader of the Senate, approach the chair. Let me thank distinguished Senator Alain Dume for bringing this motion to the fore. and to say that if we restrict ourselves to the prayers here, we will tend to miss the point. The issues are too complex. The actions of the international community, very worrisome and capable of having adverse effects on Nigerians of all faiths and the economy of the country. It's also capable of affecting the dignity of Nigerians wherever they go to. Therefore, we must have a strategy to approach this issue. And so, leader of the Senate, my personal opinion is that this has been brought to the fore of the Senate, and then we must have exhaustive deliberations in closed session on this, and then we must also come up with a strategy to correct the misinterpretation, the misinformation, and at the same